Hey, what's up, guys? It's your homie Santori, Alpha Santori. For me, it's the morning. I just woke up not a long time ago, and you know, automatically jumped on my gear to make some beats. And I'm just gonna make a simple beat, and we're gonna see where we can go with that. And at the same time, I'll show you how I proceed with the machine and the SP-404. How do I work with both? So first, I put the sample in my machine. That's the first step I do. I cut and I trim, I truncate in machine. I also use the filters, the low pass filter, and some EQ on the sample before recording it into the SP. So I'm going to show you how I do it. So that's the sample. Okay, so now I've already chopped the beginning. Okay, what I'm going to do now is just remove I'm going to put a high pass filter. Okay, and now I'm going to record it in the SP. So first, you put your volume down to make sure there's no feedback. Hit record. Choose a pad. In this case, pad 1. And then when I'm ready, I click rec. So I'm ready. So 1, 2, 3. All right, let's see if it's good. Okay, that's good. Now we're going to record low pass, meaning the low frequencies. Another thing I forgot to say is there's a red light, a red LED just here around that knob, and when that red light flashes, it means your sound is too hot. The sound is too loud, and some distortion might occur. In the manual, it says you can't permit a little bit of flashing of the light, but not too much. So, I try to go as high as possible to get the loudest volume. See now, it's too loud. So okay, that's cool. So I'm going to record now the low pass, meaning the bass. So I hit record, choose my pad, and then when I'm ready, I hit record again and record. 1, 2, 3. Watch the light. Okay, it got a little bit. I'm just going to listen. There's no clipping, so it is good. It was just on the limit. I already got some drums. And now I'm going to trim the drums because there's a little delay. So I'm going to adjust the start point. Okay, that's cool. Chop. Okay, that's cool. That's my hi-hat. That's cool. So now I truncate. Okay, And you have a button here, it's called gate, meaning when it's on, actually when it's off, when you press your pad, the sound plays completely to its completion. When you press gate, it plays what you play, meaning as soon as you release your hand from the pad, it cuts the sound. So it's a little bit like on the MPC. So some sounds I prefer the gate on, and some sounds not. So when I press the hi-hat, I want it to play completely, so I remove gate. And also with the snare, I remove the gate. But the kick, I always leave the gate on because I like to make some double kicks. And the reason why I leave it on is if you make a double kick, if you make two kicks that are very close from each other, you want them to cancel. In other words, you don't want the kicks to overlap themselves, because since they're bass sounds, when you combine two bass together, it creates what we call a clash. And a clash is kind of like a distortion, harmonic distortion. It's not a beautiful sound. So trust me, you want to avoid that. So I leave the gate on, and even sometimes, you know. So all right, let's see what we have with this sample. See, when I press the pad, I need to trim this. So I'm gonna trim. I want to get the closest as possible from the start point. Okay, that's cool. So now I truncate. The same thing with the bass. Okay. Okay, I think we have both about at the same starting point. So now what I do is I play them both together. Now, the way I proceed, the way I make my beats in the SP is I make the resampling method, meaning that when I record my sound, I'm going to show you how I do it. First, I combine those two sounds together on another pad, okay? Because now I have the low pass, the high pass, the low pass on different pads. I want them on the same pad. But before doing that, I want to make sure the volumes are well balanced, because the reason is, when I'm going to reach the end of the beat, I cannot go back and readjust the volume of a specific sound. Since you're resampling, meaning that you add sounds every time on a different pad, it's always on a stereo file. You never have access to your multiple tracks. So it's very important that on each step of the recording, of the resampling process, you make sure your volumes are well balanced. So let's see now the bass if it's too loud. Okay, that's good. I like the balance, so I'm going to resample it. Boom, boom, choose your pad, pad 2, record, and 1, 2, 3. Stop record, and then what do we have? Okay, now good. That's what we want. All right. So now I can start adding the snare. Now the first thing I notice is that the sample is too loud compared to the snare. Actually, you want your drums louder than the samples, because at the end, when you're going to compress, if you want to create that pump sidechain effect, those drums need to be a little bit louder, so they they peak on the compressor. So I'm going to reduce this. Okay, that's good. So now I'm going to record the snare on the sample on a stereo file. Resample, choose your pad number 3, and then let's go. All right. Now, the kick. I'm just going to adjust the start point of this. You want to adjust the start point because when you're going to play your kick, you want your kick to start at the same time as the sample. If your sample is not trimmed well, your kick will start a little bit before the sample, and that's not good. That's good. No. Okay. So the way it is. Okay, so let's record the kick. I don't like that. Let's record it once again. Okay, that's good. That's cool. Do I need a little hi-hat? Let's see. Okay, I'll record a hi-hat on the offbeat. Okay, I want you to understand that, like I said before, the more that I go further into resampling and building my beat, the tougher it will be for me to go back in time. And if, let's say, at the end or at that step where I'm at now with all that, if I find the sample too loud, I need to go back at pad 1 and adjust the volume of that sample. But after that, I need to re-record all the steps. You know what I mean? Let's say it's too loud. Okay, I like it like that. I'm gonna record this on pad 2. Once it's on pad 2, I gotta record again the snare. Once I have the snare, I gotta record again my kick, and so on and so on. So, like I said, you cannot really go back in time. You can, but if you do, you have to start your beat all over again. And the more your beat is complex, the more it's difficult. So, okay. So now I like what I have. Okay. Now I'm going to add some little vinyl simulation, dirt, and some flux. So I go on FX16. Okay, well now we can hear the vinyl crunchy. I'm gonna put it down a little bit. And this knob here adjusts the flux, meaning the kind of, you know, when you play a 33 RPM record and the center hole is not really, it's not centered properly. So what happens is that it plays, but it wobbles a little bit, and the needle, the arm of the record moves like that, slowly. And it creates kind of a wobbling effect. So I want some of that, and I want some crunchy. So now I resample on pad number 6, let's say, and I record with the crunchiness. Okay, Now I want to adjust the start point of this to make sure the next loop will be good. Trim, and then let's put a start point on that loop and the end point by triggering manually on pressing the mark button. Sorry, my bad. 2 bars. I want to listen. Okay, now I want to add a compressor effect. So the compressor effect is number 12. So let's see. Here we have the compressor. Okay, the way I set my compressor is I always put the level at the maximum, okay? And this is the release and the sustain. Okay. So unfortunately it's not really a it's not really a flexible compressor. It doesn't give you all the parameters like attack and ratio and threshold and stuff like that. So you have to deal with just 2 parameters. Sorry. So there's no really a formula or a perfect combination. You have to go with your ears, and that, at the end of the day, that's the best way to go. So what I want to recreate now is a pumping effect when the kick punches, and I want to create that kind of effect, but not create the distortion in the sound at the same time. So let's try something. Okay, this I like. So now resampling time. Once again, I resample with the compressor effect. Now I only have 2 pads left. So pad number 7, record, and when I'm ready, I'm going to record 2 bars. This is the second bar. Alright, so now on pad 7, you hear that little sticky at the click at the beginning? This is a click created by the compressor. That is when the compressor starts to work. The sound goes down very fast, and it creates a click. It creates a peak, and it's normal. But you'd only have it at the beginning of the file. On the other bar, it doesn't do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim this little click. I'm going to get rid of it. So all right. Now that's cool. I can trim or truncate if you prefer. Now, I have my beat, I have my vinyl simulation effect, and my compressor effect on pad 7. And I only have 1 pad left to resample, which is pad 12. Alright. If I ever get in trouble, I still have other banks. So I will be able to work with all those pads again on bank B. And with the SP, you have 10 banks. And now what I can do, what is very interesting, is I can go on and add stuff. I resample myself, adding effects on top of effects, and build something from there. From there on, I can add some reverb, I can add some phasing, chorus effects, some wah, distortion, tremolo, all kinds of shit, slicing. Um, so it's really up to you how much you want to put effects in your mix. Of course, the more you put, the more it's like a soup. The more spices you put in, the more salt you put in. Well, be careful, because at the end it's gonna be ruined. So, but lately it depends on my mood. But lately I've been strong on the effects. I like my stuff with lots of psychedelics and action, so I tend to put a lot. But that's my taste, and that's taste. Anyway, so thanks for watching. I'm glad, I'm happy you like it. If you like it, if you don't, I'm still happy. And this is for today, but probably tomorrow or the day after, I'll come back with another session on how to make beats with both machines. And this is your man Santori. Stay tuned. Peace. I'm out, yo. Peace.